Massachusetts, Libby Shute. A journalist and consultant from Western Florida, Miles Karp. And our returning champion, a writer from Portland, Oregon, Mira Hayward, whose one-day cash winnings total $14,600. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Ken Jennings.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert. Welcome to Jeopardy, our last game of the week. Despite admittedly not being a huge theater fan, Mira Hayward was the only player yesterday to come up with a correct Final Jeopardy response in theater history, who is Peter Pan. And that was enough to catapult her from second place to Jeopardy champion. Today we welcome Miles and Libby. Good luck to all three of you. Let's kick off the game and find out who will wrap up the week as a Jeopardy winner. Your categories will be: first, before they were Supreme Court justices. Then, don't fall in. We have some 5-letter double Z words, all kinds of books, hotels named for people, and finally...
I'm Kevin Burkhardt at SoFi Stadium, where the cheers still echo from Super Bowl 56, with some clues about the heroes of the biggest game over the years.
Mira, you start us off.
All kinds of books for 600, please.
Tracy McCubbin's Make Space for Happiness is about how to stop attracting this. It's in the way and dragging you down. Mira.
What is negativity?
No. Miles or Libby? How to stop attracting clutter. Back to you, Mira.
All kinds of books, 400.
The big one of these from National Geographic for kids to pore over first came out in 1963 and is now in its 11th edition. Miles.
What is an atlas?
Yes.
Hotels named for people, 8, please.
The mansion of 19th century rail tycoon Mark Hopkins was the highest point in this city. The Mark Hopkins Hotel is now on the site. Miles.
What is Baltimore?
No. Mira or Libby? That would be San Francisco. Back to you, Miles.
Hotels named for people, 600.
Marlon Brando fell for this Polynesian island during a 1960s shoot. And today, the Brando is a luxury resort on a nearby atoll. Miles.
What is Tahiti?
Right.
Super Bowl heroes for 4.
Here's Greg Olson.
Before joking around with Howie, Jimmy, and the gang, on Fox NFL Sunday's pregame show, this man was all business while winning back-to-back Super Bowl MVPs in 1979 and 1980 as quarterback for the Steelers.
That's Terry Bradshaw. A little younger. Back to you, Miles.
Don't fall in for 6.
To geologists, a maar is a crater caused by this type of activity. Some end up as lakes. Libby.
What is volcanic?
Yes.
Don't fall in for 800.
An entry to the underground world to do excavating for profit. Here's a proverbial abandoned one. Mira.
What is a mine shaft?
That's right.
Before they were Supreme Court justices, 400.
Tied for first in her Columbia Law class in 1959. Mira.
Who is Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
Yes.
Supreme Court justices, 800.
Brought his alliterative flair to collaborating with Hamilton and Madison for the Federalist. Miles.
Who is Marshall?
No. Mira.
Who is Jay?
John Jay is right.
5-letter double Z words, 600.
The place was all this, filled with anticipation and nervous talk. Mira.
What is a buzz?
Yes.
5-letter double Z words, 800.
To be in one of these is to be in a state of nervous excitement or agitation. Miles.
What is a tizzy?
Good.
Polly Pratt's wore many hats. They came from past jobs, in fact. Every time she experienced something new, her stack of hats grew. She even served turkey legs with what's on tap.
Oh. Hotels named for people, 400, please.
This first name of businessman Davenport, as in Spokane's Davenport Hotel, is also on a crab salad that the hotel sells a lot of. Libby.
What is Louis?
Crab Louis. Yes, Louis Davenport.
Don't fall in for 400.
Kids, don't fall in a big hole being dug for this base of a building. Here's the 90-foot deep one for LA's Wilshire Grand. Mira.
What is foundation?
Yes.
Double Z, 1,000.
Female singing voice between soprano and contralto. Libby.
What is mezzo?
Yes.
5-letter double Z words for 400.
Adjective for DJ Jeff, musical partner of the Fresh Prince. Miles.
What is jazzy?
DJ Jazzy Jeff is correct. That gets you up to $600. Everybody's back in the black. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll come right back and chat. Libby Shue of Massachusetts is a lecturer and an associate director, and I understand a marathoner of a kind.
Yes, Ken, I am not a runner, but I do love knitting.
Okay.
And in 2021, a fellow knitter named Laura Nelkin wanted to raise money to fight hunger during the pandemic. And so she organized a few hundred of us knitters to do a knitting marathon.
Is that where you knit 26.2 miles worth of a scarf?
No, but we knit for 12 hours straight.
Oh, wow. How does that, is that hard on the hands, on the fingers?
It actually wasn't as bad as I was expecting.
Congratulations, what a great cause. Miles Karp is a journalist and consultant from Weston, Florida, and I understand an expert on tropical fruit.
Yep, that's true.
How does one become a tropical fruit
Well,
expert?
about 10 years ago, I was sent to Latin America by an English botanical garden to collect a rare banana specimen. And it kind of changed everything for me, and since then I've been writing about fruit, talking about fruit.
Do we have to be worried about the banana? I understand that the cultivar we use is in trouble.
Short answer is yes.
Oh boy. Wow, I was hoping you'd have a more hopeful response, Miles. Well, on that note, Mira Hayward is a writer from Portland, Oregon. You're a Jeopardy winner now, but that's not the first prestigious contest you've won.
Yes, you may also recognize me from the Fred Meyer's Northwest Regional Cute Baby Contest of 1995.
Wow.
Yes.
I knew. Can you do the face from the picture? See, I knew it. I knew that was you.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. I'm sure many other accomplishments await you. Right now, Miles has control of the board, so you can make the next selection, sir.
Let's do Super Bowl heroes for 600.
Here's Kevin Burkhardt.
This running back rushed for 240 yards and 3 touchdowns combined in the Cowboys' 2 Super Bowl victories under Jimmy Johnson.
Miles.
Who is Emmitt Smith?
That's right.
Super Bowl for 8.
Here's Aaron Andrews.
He was thrice Super Bowl MVP. Yeah, you heard me. I said thrice, even winning one, despite only throwing for 157 yards and 1 TD. When it comes to this 49ers QB, you can't state things any better.
Mira.
Who is Montana?
You're right.
Double Z 200.
Set of liquid with many gas bubbles in it. Libby.
What is fizzy?
That's right.
Before they were Supreme Court justices for 600.
Hot dogged it as a Harvard law prof from 1914 to 1939. Mira.
Who is Frankfurter?
Yes, Felix Frankfurter.
All kinds of books 800.
Her many cookbooks include one on feeding the one you love, titled Cooking for Jeffrey. Mira.
Who is Ina Garten?
The Barefoot Contessa, right.
All kinds of books 1,000.
Subtitled The First Warpath, 1841's The Deerslayer was James Fenimore Cooper's last published book of these tales. Mira.
What is Leatherstocking?
Good for 1,000.
All kinds of books 200.
Between a Heart and a Rock Place is the memoir of this singer with 40 plus years in the music business. Miles.
Who is Hines?
No. Mira.
Who is Jet?
Also incorrect. Libby doesn't look like she wants to take a shot. You're looking at Pat Benatar. Back to you, Mira.
Supreme Court justices 200.
Went 15 for 18 at the Supreme Court in his first year as Solicitor General. Also became president. Miles.
Who's Taft?
Yes, President and Chief Justice.
Super Bowl heroes for 1,000.
Here's Tom Rinaldi.
In Super Bowl 56 here at SoFi Stadium, it was this AD all day, and very specifically, ending the day with his 4th down pressure on quarterback Joe Burrow to seal the game for the Rams.
Miles.
Who is Donald?
Aaron Donald, good for 1,000.
Super Bowl 2.
Here's Mike Pereira.
Cheeseheads have ate it up after this quarterback threw for 304 yards and 3 touchdowns to lead Green Bay to a win in Super Bowl 45.
Mira.
Who is Rogers?
Aaron Rodgers is right. Our thanks to the Fox NFL Sunday team for helping us out with those clues. You can catch their coverage of the big game you might have heard about this Sunday on Fox. Back to you, Mira.
Supreme Court justices 1,000.
The answer there is the daily double in the round. You have a pretty substantial lead, Mira.
I will bet 1,600, please, Ken.
Here's your clue. And before they were Supreme Court justices, in 1973 became the Arizona Senate Majority Leader.
Who is Sandra Day O'Connor?
You are correct, and you extend your lead. 4 clues left, Mira.
Don't fall in 1,000.
It's 10 feet wide and 260 deep.